What is up, people of the internet? Welcome to Road to Masters with myself, Another Notch. Joining me tonight, as always, is Trix. He's here to give you all of those top-notch plays and tricks for the game, guys. Trix, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up? What's up? Good to be back.
It's always exciting to be back, but Trix and I aren't alone, guys. Joining us tonight is Marty Rivia, or Marty Riviera, if you watch any of the any of the Agora's Rising events. Marty is from Team Oxygen. He plays support most of the time, and he's a damn good support. Marty, what is up? How are you, man?
I'm doing well. How are you, Notch?
Oh, I'm so excited. So excited to hear that sexy voice and talk to you about Paragon.
Cool, lad.
Whoa, what? What's happening? Listen to that accent. Everybody, all of the girls that watch this, all one of the girls that watch this.
All two.
My
There are no girls on the internet.
my wife is the only one that I know that watches this. She is super turned on right now by that accent.
Quick, beat the stream.
But guys, we're going to be jumping in, as always, trying to help everybody improve their gameplay. We've got Trix here, who is a high-level, high-caliber badass when it comes to Paragon. He started a brand new account, and we're following his journey from the low matchmaking rating to higher matchmaking. The highest you can get, we're using Paragon.gg to track that wonderful journey to Master League, because Paragon.gg has Master League. So Trix, we've got a couple jungle games this week. We've switched it up. We saw Rangers the first time. We got to see a aggressive Muriel. We saw Count play when you just destroyed a Grim. And now we're seeing junglers. We're going to be looking at a Chimera, and we're going to be looking at Grux play tonight. So why junglers this week?
Well, jungle, it's by far the most different role from anything else. Other roles, you're sitting in lane. You have to focus on last hitting. You have to focus on trading. With jungle, it's all about efficiency of time, rotating, and map awareness.
So there's a lot
And
more with jungling than it is just standing in lane farming.
I wouldn't say it's more, but it's a different skill set, and it's a skill set that a lot of lower MMR players are just completely lacking. They don't look at their minimap enough. They don't know how to use their time efficiently. They don't properly prioritize objectives.
Right.
And jungling really emphasizes those core mechanics of the game.
Okay, so we're gonna look at something. I think junglers. I do think junglers take a lot of skill to play properly. Maybe not properly, but play efficiently and play effectively. So it's going to be interesting to see how you time those rotations. Now, Marty, you play on the competitive scene. You've played with Team Oxygen Esports. You guys are one of the mainstays in the competitive scene, and
Right.
you guys tend to have incredibly high queues, unfortunately, because of your guys' MMR. So a lot of you have created, we call them Smurf accounts, just a new account for you to play so you can jump into play. Have you seen, one of the reasons we have you on is because of your skill level. Have you noticed any things while playing these games people are not doing, people are lacking, and,
Right.
and
Yeah.
things
So
they need to do?
first and foremost, especially in lower tier games, I actually played a few before tonight. The number one thing I'm noticing are junglers are not taking white camps. There's no focus on timers for when a buff has been taken and when to go back to get it again. Most of the time, when you traverse through the jungle, you see the majority of the white camps are at level 3. There's never any focus on the black buff and to do something with the black buff. That's always left there. Normally, at about 12 minutes, someone will come and take it, but the majority of the jungle camps aren't being taken. I think a lot of emphasis, from what I've seen, are in these games that I've played. The junglers just tend to look for kills. They're just constantly rotating across the map, looking for kills, not prioritizing their farm.
Okay.
And as in the higher tier you go, those ganks and lanes are a lot less likely to pay off because of the amount of vision there is. So ideally, you just want to focus on trying to get these camps. I mean, are you? At what minute are you guys on in the
We're,
replay
we're
at the
actually getting
moment?
ready to jump into the replay right now. So,
I
Marty,
crashed a few minutes ago. I've got it started again.
all right, I'm still at that 5 second mark. We're going to start right here in just a second. Follow Tricks around here and talk about some of these white camps, the way they level up, the importance of these camps. and importance of your rotation. And it's not always about getting those kills. I see that all the time. Everybody just wants to run out and get a kill right away.
Right, yeah. You fall behind really quickly if your gank doesn't pay off.
Yeah, it's. I've said before, I love a jungler that's there and helps, but I can't stand more than anything a jungler that runs in, doesn't get a kill, and then pushes my lane out, and leaves me at a major disadvantage. So
really triggering me today.
It happens all the time. It's like, yes, okay, he's not going to secure this kill, just run by. This guy's not far enough out, and they instantly run for that target. They don't get the kill, and they're like, well, I've missed out on farm, so now I'm going to clear your lane. But we're going to jump into this replay right now, guys. We're going to be following Trix around on his Chimera. And we're going to say 3, 2, 1, and go. So right off the bat, guys, Trix, he is Potato, as you've been watching for the past couple of weeks now. He's going to pick up a health pot and a flash fire piston. So you picked up the flash fire piston. I'm assuming you would have probably gone with strike tokens if you had strike tokens? Or is flash fire piston something you would have gone with right off the bat?
Probably would have gone strike tokens if I had strike tokens. Flash fire piston's not a terrible pickup though, because with strike tokens, you're spending 2 CP to get 2 points of damage. With flash fire piston, you're spending 2 CP to get 1 point of damage and 1 point of attack speed, which isn't that bad. It scales really well with Chimera's E, and if you don't have the double strike tokens, like picking up a mana pot's not that great,
right? On
Chimera especially. So flash fire piston's definitely a good alternative.
What are you going to level off the bat here? Are we going with the Q for that attack speed, or are you going the E for the sustain and the regen?
Q just for clear time early. My support's not leashing, which is something that's pretty popular to do in higher MMR, because you both get the XP and you just get faster clears. And normally nothing happens level 1 in blue and red lane, but
yeah. As a support, especially, you want to try and help your jungler clear. Not only will he take less damage and have HP to clear the rest of his jungle, but also you trying to hit level 5 as quick as you can as a support. It only accelerates it. If you leash the red, get the XP from that, and then also move on to the white camp with the jungler, then go off to your lane. You'll hit level 2 before everyone else, and then if you have harvester keys to put up as well, you should be hitting level 5 before everyone else on the map.
So let's talk about leashing real quick for those that don't understand. What does leashing mean? Is that just the extra soak of experience?
I'll let Marty talk about that one.
So leashing is basically you take the aggro of the camp, pull it towards yourself, and essentially take the damage so that the jungler can get free hits on it. Meanwhile, it does damage to you.
Okay.
And then as you get low, you obviously tick your health pot, and then you let the jungler take it back off you. So you both share the oncoming damage.
Okay. And then you're both getting that crucial experience early game.
Right. What you can do as a support though, like you can tag it, and then you can walk away, and if the jungler kills it in time, you can be halfway down the lane and you'll still get the XP for it.
Oh.
So that's another thing players can consider. You don't have to be in the direct vicinity of the camp to get the XP. As long as you've tagged it and the jungler's killed it within a few seconds of you tagging it, you could be halfway down the lane and you'll still level up from it.
Okay, I want to talk about something that I'm noticing the blue enemy team doing right now. They chased really far to pick up a kill on Twin Blast. They chased him, all the way up this tunnel here. We've had Unlimited rotate back over. Potato is low, but they lost 2 kills, and they lost out on a ton of card power and CP and experience by doing that silly ass chase right there. Don't do that, guys. It's not worth a chase. If you can't secure the kill, don't chase the enemy through their jungle, because 9 times out of 10, you're just going to get caught out and killed, like we just saw those 2 players do. So you backed. We're at 3 minutes 24 seconds in the game. You picked up your Brawler's key. This is your Harvester keys. I think you've only killed 1 camp. Am I correct? You've only killed one red camp?
One level 1 white camp.
Okay. So you've picked up a red camp and a white camp. You're at 6 card power right now. You're going to put these Harvesters down at 3 minutes. Harvesters, as a jungler, if you are jungling, another thing I see at low tier, if you are jungling, pick up a damn key.
Trix, did you have any intention of letting your carry take any of the white camps? Like
he could take them if he wants to. The thing here is that my solo laner, my mid laner, took blue buff level 1, which is retarded. I don't know why they would do that. So now I don't have a blue buff to clear.
No, but would you intentionally leave the camps on the red side of the map for your carry to take and look to farm elsewhere?
Yeah, definitely. If he gets into like at this point, he should be ahead because that crazy ass fight where he got assists or whatever in the other lane lost out on so much. He should be able to just go and farm that close white camp whenever he wants. It'll be
Yeah.
level 3 now, and I have 2 level 3 camps on blue side and only 1 on red side. So I want to clear these level 3 camps before 6 minutes comes around. That way they're not super over leveled.
Now, Marty, when you're playing, because you play at a very high level, so does Trix as well. But Trix, you're just now starting to get into the competitive scene a little bit more. Marty, you've been here for a bit. Is that something that your jungler would do for your carry? Is let them take that outside white camp?
So at this moment in time, as I said earlier, where trying to gank into lanes is very difficult now because of how cost-effective wards are. At any given point, past the first few minutes, there'll be upwards of 6 to 8 wards on the map. It makes it very difficult for a jungler to gank a lane. So what happens is plays tend to be made now with the jungler is aggressively going into the enemy jungle to try and bait out someone to come and rotate. So you push a wave and then you go into the enemy jungle. Meanwhile, the red side jungle is left entirely to the carry. The carry, after he pushes the lane, he drops down into his jungle. He'll take a white camp, he'll go back, farm another wave, then he'll rotate across and get another white camp. One thing I noticed as well is as you move up, players seem to be doing that now, where the jungler lets the carry get the additional farm from his side of the jungle. In these games, though, the jungler is incredibly selfish. If he is one of those junglers who will take camps, he'll take everything and he won't share anything. He'll even take the red buff off the carry as well.
So Trix, you're at this low level. You're at gold, I believe, according to Paragon.gg right now. You've played a couple games this week. Of course, we're watching these 2 right now. But with the jungler, we're 6 minutes in the game. We just saw you pick up that gank. You rotated out. You're able to secure the kill on Twin Blast. You've got your level 5, huge ultimate for Chimera at level 5. It does so much damage, and it helps secure those kills. Of course, you did have the follow-up of Faye there, who hit him with the brambles and slowed him down a bit. But you're at 12 card power right now. Now, you've picked up wards. We've talked about the importance of wards the past couple of weeks. Is with your warding, before when you were laning, you would ward in certain areas. Are you warding now to protect your jungle, or are you going to ward to protect your laners? What is your thinking on wards right now as in this particular role?
So as a jungler, when I pick up wards, I want to pick them up early because as a jungler, I'm not tied to any one spot on the map. So I can put vision down anywhere on the map. I'm not constricted. Like if I'm a laner, like I can realistically only put them like so far away from my lane before I lose so much.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I can fill any void on the map with vision that I want to fill. So if I want to place them aggressively because I'm ahead, I can place them aggressively. If I notice that one of my laners isn't warding for themselves, I can ward for them. I can ward to protect my own jungle. I can ward to make a play on an objective. There's so much you can do with wards as a jungler, and I just see no junglers ever pick up wards, and I don't understand it.
Right. It's a second, third card, second or third card pick for sure. If you play in the jungle, wards and keys, they should be in every single of your jungler decks. They should. I even put them in support decks, but you should have wards and keys. Now you're farming the enemy jungle right here. That lane was pushed up. Your lane was pushed up pretty far. Unlimited
Level 3 camps everywhere.
That's what I'm.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just saying.
The
There's
whole jungle's level 3.
Level 3 camps all over the place, which means their jungle is not doing the job.
I think his red is still up as well.
His red just came up at 6 minutes. He's duo lane. He's in the duo lane right now.
He's level 4 as well.
Exactly. He's
Very
so
far
far behind.
In this type of game where there aren't many wards coming out from the opposing team, what's your plan here? Just to constantly go around farming, or are you looking to gank the lanes and get some kills as well?
Well, I see the rampage. He just hit level 5. He's so far behind, and I'm so far ahead. I can just like if he was to come out of duo lane right now and contest this red buff, I would kill him straight up. And the
That's
red
a
buff,
level 2. Oh, that hurts my heart to see a level 2 red buff. This should
That
not
should be the
happen 8
first
minutes into
thing-
the game. I should not see a level 2 camp. I should not see 2 white camps that are level 3 8 minutes into the game and you free farming an enemy territory. I feel like this is, in most cases, this should be very dangerous. There should be vision here. There should be wards. The team should notice, hey, you're not on the map. Let's see if he's in our jungle. The enemy team should notice this. And they haven't picked this up. And there's no vision here, so you basically have a jump on Cruz, and you should be able to secure a kill here if you decide to go for this.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just waiting for them to get far enough out and for the gadget to realize, like, oh, hey, like, there's a kill here.
Yeah.
I go straight onto the gadget right here because, in my mind, she's a bigger target. She's probably going to be harder to get away. The Grux is just going to piece the fuck out whenever. So, like, this is... And then the gadget bomb doesn't quite get him, sadly. But,
So,
like, that's just free because...
there's
they
no
just weren't
wards.
even expecting it.
There's no wards. They don't have their jungle warded, or at least vision in that lane. I hate this. If you jump behind this guy and kill him, you're going to irritate me. This pisses me off. I don't know how many times this happened to me.
Well, the blue team is actually warded quite aggressively. Like, one ward's just expired, but Trix's white camps in his own jungle have been warded.
Yeah, they have.
Which
they
is
have
quite interesting.
right. They have their jungle ward. I mean, they're aggressive spots, but they really,
Very
as you can
aggressive.
see, don't do anything to help them. You know what I mean? Because they didn't see the sight on him.
All
And
level 3 camps.
And
I
more
don't think blue team knows who's jungling for them.
because they've got Grux. Rampage has been in lane the entire time.
Rampage was laning duo lane, and now Grux was duo mid. This is a level 2 blue camp. At least they have harvesters up, so like that's something.
Yeah, Rampage started with the Beastmaster's key. So I assume he was the jungler for them.
And that fell apart quickly because he's just been in
Yeah.
lane. He's
Could be
just been
pretty
in lane.
tilted.
Yeah.
Could be pretty tilted after that first fight.
So I mean, you're sitting right now at 18 card power. You've got a clear advantage over the enemy team, especially over their junglers. Rampage is just now hit level 6. He's only at 9 card power. 12 minutes into the game, which means last hits aren't happening. He's not roaming at all. So he's just, as of this point, either a free target or a major problem if a team engagement was to take place in the next couple of minutes. So you finally decided to head back to your jungle. You're going to be picking up your blue buff and your camp. Again, blue team is still warded very aggressively, but so they'll be able to see a rotation if he comes this way. If he decides to come from his jungle, they'll see the rotation. But 11 minutes into the game, do you think there should be wards in their jungle a little bit? Do you think, especially because you've already ganked them from behind?
Yeah, if you see a Chimera that's like 4-0 before 12 minutes, you should ward to make sure that he is not going to snowball farther ahead. Chimera is exceptionally good when he's far ahead, but if he's even or behind, he's not that great of a character.
He's not the
So-
strongest. I mean, he still has his benefits and whatnot, but I like you said, if he's ahead, ganks are so easy for this particular hero.
Exactly. He lost
when
the
he-
tower. How did we lose the tower?
Remaster backed and allowed or set unlimited to farm alone, and there was a smash and grab to clear the waves from their Grux, and he wasn't able to just defend the push there with the 2. And that's something you guys don't see very often, is a Twin Blast ultimate kill. I guess they do happen. I guess they
I mean,
happen.
Okay, loads of weird things happen in this game.
So
Like,
I mean,
I'm pretty. Sorry, go on.
no, I was gonna say, so Marty, when you play the support role, so you're
Right.
mostly in that duo lane with your support there. And I want to talk about this because they lost the tower. When they have a jungler that has a clear advantage, he's actually rotated. He's picked up a couple kills. As a support, when should your laner, the person you're supporting, back? Is there a certain time you're looking for? I mean, are
Right,
you
so-
wanting towers, waves pushed out? What are you looking for
I've-
before they back?
You always want to back when there's a non-cannon wave. A cannon wave is when the big siege minions there, right?
What
You
are
wanna
you
clear-
doing? Hold on, I had this. He's just standing behind this ramp.
Yeah,
right
you
there.
you have
Completely
to wait
oblivious.
until the camp is low so you can make sure you get the last hit.
But you stood there for like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, I dropped a ward on the other side of him too. My ult got canceled because I thought it would make him drop the rock.
I'm sorry, Marty. I didn't mean to cut you off. I've just never
No,
seen
it's-
that before.
absolutely.
So you're able to pick up 2 kills. So anyways, so go ahead and say with what you're saying about the lane.
Right, so yeah, the ideal time to back is when there's a non-cannon wave, because if they do aggressively push the wave into the tower, there isn't that much damage coming out.
Right.
Because the siege minion isn't there.
And a
So you always
cannon, the cannon is the siege minion. It's the big fat
The
minion.
cannon is the one that does the big damage to
Okay.
the tower. So if you're ever in a situation where you're coming back to your tower and there's minions there hitting it, that's the first one you want to look to take out. Because the small ones do very little damage when compared to the cannon. The cannon is the big one that really nukes the tower down.
Yeah, like 410 damage a shot or something
pretty ridiculous.
absurd. So, if you're in the lane and you know there's a minion wave coming, wait to deal with that siege minion, or don't back until you've dealt with that particular wave. Easy kill
Ideally,
here.
you want to try and push your wave towards his tower, then back.
Make sure you have the breathing room and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So easy kill there, Potato. You had that tricks. You had that lane warded. You know nobody was coming behind you. He had no rotation and support coming to that. Your team was being aggressive, pushing that tower to him. You rotated behind. And this is important. We haven't talked about this a lot. But Tricks, instead of targeting the hero, he killed the tower first and then picked up the kill. I'm not going to talk about him missing that ultimate there.
Why can
because-
that happen? It's a lock-on ability.
Trademark North American out there.
That's a super NA alt right there.
Trix, I was going to ask, are there any specific cards that you would have built if you're on your main account that you're missing on this account?
Early Rust Breaker probably.
For the
Just
pen?
to help me take the towers with the extra pin, and then it pins through their normal armor too. So you just do that little bit extra damage. I wouldn't have built
Breaker's
Brawler's
the only-
Key either. I would have built Beastmasters because it synergizes really well with Chimera with the Q.
It does. Synergy. Beastmaster's key on Chimera is actually really fantastic. So you would have built Rustbreaker. So right now we're going to take a look at this build, guys, because I haven't looked at it in a bit. First card he picked up was Flashfire Piston. He put 2 minor kinetics and a minor strike in there. He's got a Brawler's Key. He hasn't put anything in that yet. An Adamant Edge with a minor strike and 2 lesser healths. And he's picked up a Brawler's Ward, and he's got a 2-cost strike and a basic mana. And so we've got not a standard build. I mean, you are, like you said, Rustbreaker is such a strong card on this hero. But why the mana? Why pick up a little bit of mana on this hero?
It's really because I don't have a lot of 1-cost cards.
Right.
And I want to be able to get... I want to fill out as many cards as I can early. And so I've used my 1/1/1 on my Flashfire. I've used another 1/1/1 on my Adamant Edge. Now all I have left, really, in terms of 1-cost cards, is the minor mana. And I'm going to keep my ward late game. So I just want to go ahead and put 1, 2, 3 into that before I start moving into the 12-cost cards that I kind of have to build by necessity.
Right. So again, rotation here. They have a ward, so they are going to see this. But you are very far ahead. 21 of 33 card power. You haven't spent yet. But this Grux is only sitting at 21 card power. You're going to hit him with that call, then the leap, deal a ton of damage there. The Fae does protect, which is great. Great fly trap there. I don't know if you're going to be able to secure this kill. But again, the lack of the as long as it took them to back one, seeing you, and then
Very nice one, that one.
as long as it took your team to rotate over to help. Like that Fae could have come in a lot sooner and possibly secured 2 of those kills there. But you're at a point now, 17 minutes in the game. You've got a huge card power lead. You've got waves pushing in your favor for the most part. Your Twin Blast is getting kind of bodied over there. What are you now thinking of doing? What's your next step? Are you trying to secure towers? Are you looking more to pick up ganks? What is your game plan as the mid game starts to unfold here a little bit?
Next step is just I'm already so far ahead that I'm not scared to go anywhere really. So it's really just rotate around, get towers, make sure that I can actually like translate the objective that I have into a map wide objective, or the advantage I have into a map wide advantage by taking towers, reducing their vision, planting wards in their jungle, and then just snowballing my laners. I can't believe he actually hit that rock.
Boulder though.
Trix, in previous weeks, along with the games you played here, do you have any trouble closing the games out? And do you alter your build, like to let you single-handedly win a game? For example, when I was playing Carrier earlier today on my Smurf account, Like people will traditionally say lifesteal is a bad stat to invest into at this point. But in these types of games where there isn't much coordination between the team, you know, securing a prime by yourself with lifesteal, or being able to sustain and take a 2v1 because of lifesteal. Like, do you find yourself altering your builds so that you can take objectives like the all prime quicker?
Yeah, definitely. It's a really different game than like what me and you are used to playing, because we don't do things like build armor. We don't build pin because everybody runs Satori cloak.
Right,
and
right.
things like
Your
that. Like,
teammates can accommodate for you.
exactly.
Like you a certain way.
Like building armor here is OP because people look at builds posted by higher tier players and are like, oh, nobody's running pin.
All right.
So they don't run pin, but they don't make the connection that the reason we don't run pin is because supports have Satori cloak.
Mm-hmm.
So since Satori cloak's being run, nobody runs armor because it gets invalidated, which means that health is everywhere. So you don't have to build pin because nobody's building resistances.
But in these types of games, I noticed that too. I was having quite a bit of trouble nuking down some fighters later on because they were building armor and there's no one on the team to get rid of it. And I don't have many pen cards on the Smurf either.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's very few people. It even happens. So as we go from gold to platinum, the same thing will be the case.
Like lifesteal can work in these games. I honestly think that. Like if you
In the
as a
low
carry-
tier with no armor, I mean, crit and lifesteal, they work fantastic in these games.
I mean, not even so much to kill people. It's just, as I said, when you want to close out a game, sometimes you need the prime, and so often people get picked in these games. Like in the most ridiculous spots, they'll get picked, which gives you a small window to take orb.
Terrible
What
ultimate by that fly trap.
What I found is that no one really reacts to the commands that you spam. So sometimes you're just in a position there where you've got a window to take orb, but no one helps you.
Right.
So a stat like lifesteal can actually help you take orb. Whole team has it, and you know who knows, from the back of that you could immediately win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways. It's one of the things that we probably need to talk about is what that NA boulder.
That's just a low elo boulder, dude.
That's just, you were literally in front of him. He didn't even have to aim. But I like that question, Marty, is, you know, building as a skilled player, changing your builds to accommodate what you need to do. We need to look into that.
Yeah.
So he has back guys. He did spend his card power. He picked up a Rust Breaker. He put all major strikes in it. He picked up a Swift Creek Heart with health and attack speed. Are you putting attack speed into this card?
I am.
Okay,
Just just a little bit.
how much? So, as I played a bit of Chimera. I'm not a pro jungler by any means, but Chimera has an ability that gives him on-demand attack speed. Yes, it's only for 5 seconds, but do you think building too much attack speed is a wasted stat on this particular hero? Because I've seen a lot of people put 12 points of attack speed into the Chimera build, and that just seems like so much. I mean, is that a wasted stat?
You can definitely build too much, I think, but the thing about building attack speed is that if you have the health and survivability to back it up, the longer you stay in fights, like your region is just going to go up and up and up. And then eventually, if you're attacking fast enough, like you'll get to a point where you're unkillable. As long as you have the health to back it up and make sure that you can get your stacks up, then you'll be tanky by virtue of just staying in fights for long.
Okay, so you backed your first time. You picked up a major kinetic and a greater health. And that's one of the reasons I actually run this card on a lot of heroes, because it gives you attack speed, which is a great stat on a lot of heroes. But the big one is health. Health is really, 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 really fucking strong right now, because for one card power level or one card power, it gives you 100 health. So right off the bat, he's at 400 health, and all he's done is put a 3-cost card in it. 400 additional health. He's getting health from the Adamant Edge. So I mean, you're at a spot right now, again with a major lead, 42 card power, level 14. The closest person next to you on the other team is at 27 card power, a level 3 black buff. This shouldn't happen either. But I mean, you could technically carry this game as of where you're at right now, with attack speed, with health. You're coming in. You've now picked up the black buff. You've got a Faye who's very underfarmed in this lane. You guys have Orb Prime activated. I mean, at this point, unless you mess up really, 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 really badly, you could 1v3 in a lot of these situations.
Yeah.
Because
Right
where
here,
you're
the
at.
better play would probably be just to go mid and help my team push that down. But in my mind, I'm like, we're so far ahead, they should have no problem pushing that down. And oh boy, was I wrong.
So Unlimited comes in. He hit her with that stab link, but misses the hook there. You're just going to push up. Continue to clear this lane out. Give yourself a little bit of health regen to dive the tower. What is that fly trap, and why the frick did she cast it?
Fail doesn't do damage to minions, guys.
That black buff would have been a godsend on that mid inhib, especially with the orb. As soon as you walked in there, what, 3 or 4 shots, it's dead.
I was sure they were gonna get it, honestly.
Yeah, looking at the scoreboard, your team is miles ahead actually.
Yeah, like I don't like even like our gadget still has ult. So like I figured like it would just be easy. Like she just ults the wave and they walk under it. People are so scared to just go in low elo. Like
Dude,
they're
you
like
said it. You said it last week though. You said don't rely on your teammates.
I
and
did.
You can't be disappointed. And
I
what
did
you
say
do?
I'm not disappointed. I just expected like a little bit more. So I
it
just kill
may-
myself right here to get this inhib because it's totally worth it at this point in the game.
Like, it may sound quite rude to say, but in these types of games, you have to play so selfish. Like if you don't have confidence in your team, right? Because you don't know most of these people. Like whereas me and you play, we run into the same people over and over, so you know what so and so is good for and what so and so isn't that good at. Like in these types of games, like, you just got to play incredibly selfish and just always in the back of your mind think like this is the worst that could happen. This is the worst that could happen. So like, even as a jungler, like I said earlier, like high level games, you let the jungler take the farm. If you're on a carry, if you're on a jungler, be as selfish as you can and take all the farm. Take everything you can. Because at the end of the day, if you don't want to rely on them, like at least put yourself in that position where you can carry the game.
Right. Because it's at this low MMR, and as you can tell, the lead, he's out-farmed everybody.
Like,
9,
yeah,
he just got his first death due to taking an inhibitor, which is a good reason and a good thing to dive. Another thing I want to talk about, because you said it and the gadget did it, she had her ultimate. Guys, it's okay to ult on either one hero, or if you're pushing an inhibitor, if you're a caster player, you've got a howitzer ult, you've got a Gideon ult, you've got a gadget ult. It's okay to ult a minion wave to give yourself that advantage and allow your minion wave to push a tower, because sometimes that's what it takes. They had half decent lane clear there, so it's okay to use that cooldown to get a major objective like a inhibitor, or possibly secure a kill. Everybody waits for these 3-4 man moments where it's like, did you see that top 5 plays right there? It's not about being top 5 plays every week, guys. It's about winning the game. And you can ult 1 or 2 people and still have success from that. And it drives me nuts when I see people hold on to their ults for so long.
Look at the builds real quick.
I don't want to, because I'm looking at your Twin Blast build and it's hurting my freaking head.
He's gone double blade of Agora.
He's got double Blade of Agora.
Crit bonus is not the same thing as bonus crit. I feel like people think that crit bonus means bonus crit chance.
He's got that 100% crit bonus right now.
He is killing it with the crit bonus. He's got no crit at all, though, by the way. 0. Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm just kidding. He picked up a Red Eye Nitro. And
he's got 3%.
He's got 3% crit with I mean, those don't stack. Those don't stack. So
point stab link on the Richter.
The stab link with all greater heals. Okay, that's
like
the thing.
The 6 extra points of mana regen on the opposing Fae.
Some of these builds, guys. Dawson is built Circlet of Mana and a Circlet of Health. Your gadget.
I mean, let's not go too hard on them. Like, they may not have access to.
They may not have access to cards, but
yeah,
but at the same time, you can look at other people play and you can watch and.
I mean, then again, there are plenty of decent builds.
Come on, Twin, hit auto. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there's plenty of builds where you don't need. You can use universal
Spark
cards.
should never be built.
Enhanced.
Right, yeah, I agree with you there.
Which one is that? Where is it? I don't see.
That is the 4-cost mana regen card that the Fae has built on the Magna Lens.
Oh god. That's fantastic. So guys, we're looking at beginner builds here. You are in a point, again, 51 card power. You don't have any life steal. The blink out of the Richter, trying to get over the Harvester. He misses it. I mean, nobody's coming to contest this. They're basically, there's people
They're stuck
alive.
in their base.
That was actually pretty cool by him. Like, I'm quite impressed that he tried that.
If he would have got it, it would have been better.
Yeah, that would have been pretty sick if he had got that. I don't think anyone even knew that he could do that.
He was close. He was very close.
Quite close, yeah.
So, I mean, we're 29 minutes into the game. You've got a huge level advantage. You've got the attack speed. You've got the health. You're just going to solo prime here because you're Chimera, and you can do whatever the fuck you want as Chimera. Thank you, Gadget, for coming over to help.
I mean, I've got, like, with 3,300 health, it's just, it's going to happen.
Did you
It can't kill me before I get my regen.
did you get black and then just go for the back door as Chimera?
I don't remember what I do, honestly.
I mean, you could have.
Like, there is no strategy in these games. I think I like farm until I get a level up and then back and buy and then go in the game or something. I don't know. At this point, like right now, I could have just I could have instantly recalled and gone straight and just dove core, and that would have been the much better play instead of letting my Twin Blast kill himself.
Again.
Let's take a look, actually.
But I mean, sometimes you just are like, I mean, we have an inhib down. We have all of our T2s up. Realistically, if we lose this game, I would uninstall.
Yeah.
But double blade of Agora, man, it's just I'm flabbergasted.
The builds, I mean, the builds you see are pretty, they're pretty different. I did say crit can help at those lower elos because, again, people aren't really building armor. There's not really any penetration. So they can help, but building 2 Blade of Agoras with the crit bonus is unique. It does not stack, guys. Those of you that are new to the game, unique bonuses do not stack. So he doesn't have 100% extra crit bonus. He went from 150. He's basically given up a very valuable
He's given up a lot of points
stat.
for it.
I mean, you give up so much by building that way. So he could have got a card that gave more stats. Faye's going to backdoor. Faye can't take it anymore. And she's going to end the game there.
Yep, so I was just going to push down mid and then take the second inhib. And then, because taking 2 inhibs at most levels of play, especially lower levels of play, is a guaranteed nail in the coffin. Like, if you take 2 inhibs and you still have your inhibs up, more often than not, it's just you're going to win sheerly by attrition.
Yep.
But, so, in my mind, taking double inhib, especially at lower elos, is always safer than trying to just end the game outright, because as we saw earlier when I thought they were going to take mid inhib with OP, sometimes they just don't do the things that I feel like they should be able to do. So double inhib, to me, is something I can do by myself very easily with almost no risk, because even if I die...
with no expectations.
Exactly. Your team's not going to do anything. Let's be honest.
So those of you that are new here and are like, what are we watching? What we're watching, guys, is Tricks for Kids, who is a very skilled Paragon player. He started a brand new account, and he's solo queuing his way to Diamond and above because he believes it can be done. A lot of people say they're stuck in Elo hell. A lot of people say, how do I win games if my teammates are all shite? And that's what we're doing right now. We're watching it and giving you guys tips and tricks and insight on how to possibly carry a game or what you can do different to help your team out. As you get into those higher elos, you may see teamwork becoming more of a thing. Lower elos, from what we've seen recently, teamwork really doesn't exist. It's maybe 1 or 2 players playing together.
Like, to summarize that game, Tricks farmed the jungle like a madman, and then he threw his weight around with his lead.
Yeah.
And then that later transitioned into him getting the prime with his team after a few kills. And then from inhib was down, wave was pushed, and Faye went and ended the game with it as well.
So,
Like, that's the takeaway point here. When you're playing solo like that, just look to farm as much as you can. Like, leave the kills at the beginning. Just get ahead. Get ahead with the farm. Take the jungle. Take the lanes. Take the black buff. Don't forget that black buff. Like, too many players are leaving that up.
Black buff, so those of you who don't know, black buff does bonus damage, extra damage to towers. It puts on a dot. And the way the dot works is you hit a target, you hit the tower, and the tower will take, it's 150 base damage, but with the armor on the tower, it does a little bit less. So you shoot it, it'll do, I believe it's 3 to 5 ticks. But every time he shoots the tower again or hits the tower again, the dot is refreshed. So we've seen it in high levels of play where a ranged character will push a minion wave all the way to the tower, take a pop shot at the tower, and then back out, and then wait for another minion wave, and pick it up, and you just kill it that way if he doesn't have the ability to push. So it is a very important buff that is neglected on all different levels of play. It's just neglected, and it shouldn't. It's a buff that everybody should be using. You can do multiple things. You can deny it from the enemy team if you know you're not going to push. Pick it up and help push with your team. So black buff is an important one. Of course, we're watching Trix play jungler right now. We've watched him do a crit-ish Muriel build, which he destroyed on, which should not work, but he killed with that build. We've seen him play Rangers. We've seen him play Countess. So again, what we're trying to do is people who have not played the game, people who are new to the game, people who think they're stuck. It's really it's how do you play? Make yourself better, and eventually you'll have the skill to where you can climb out of that low tier play. But we're gonna jump into game number 2. I have game number 2 pulled up. You are playing Grux. You're playing Grux
Once again,
this game.
orange side.
Every damn game you're orange. I believe you have the orange side advantage.
I'll have to find next week a blue side game.
I don't believe they exist. I've never seen you on a blue side, so I don't think you've ever been on the blue team.
I mean, you've never seen me in the same room with Bill Gates either. So
That's true. That is also true, guys. So joining us tonight also is Marty Riviera. It's so irritating. It irritates me now that I do it because I know it irritates you. But Marty, guys, is from Team Oxygen. He is their support player. He's been playing some low-level accounts as well because 16-hour queues are not fun for anyone.
In Epic's defense, they fixed that last week.
They did fix that, but it took you streaming for what, 9 hours?
That particular day was actually in excess of 15 hours.
15
At which point
hours.
I did it to prove a point, right? But even so, 15 hours, I would have carried on, but I stopped because my team wanted to scrim, so I had to cut it short.
I couldn't stream the queue simulator any longer because esports called. I get it. I understand completely. So, guys, we're going to jump into game number 2. I'm at 5 seconds. So, you guys at 5 seconds?
I'm at 5 seconds.
Marty?
2, 3, 4, 5.
He's at
4,
5.
6.
All right, guys. We're going to jump into game number 2. We're going to be following Trix around on Grux. We're going to talk again about the importance of these white camps because we saw it last time. Every time you ran by a camp, they were level 3, and that should not happen. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more. But here we go, guys. In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So playing Grux this game, much better, much higher tier jungler than Chimera, contrary to popular belief. A lot of people think Chimera's absolutely broken OP, the be all end all alongside Iggy, which is not the case. Grux is far and away better than Chimera. 100%.
100% agree with that statement. Grux is a playmaker. Grux is such a damn good hero right now. So you right off the bat, again, because this is a new account, you don't have the strike tokens, you don't have Stalker's Key, I'm assuming you don't have Beastmaster's Key. You've picked up a health potion and a flash fire piston. You're going physical damage and attack speed. Attack speed is super strong on Grux early game. Throughout the game, attack speed is great on this particular hero. But you're picking up the red buff. So I have this weird rotation that I do in the camp, which is a little bit weird. I start up blue, outside whites, and work my way in, then pick up the red buff. Why do you pick up the red buff first?
So the thing about red buff is that it increases your damage percentage based. So I think it's either 10 or 15% extra damage. It also gives you move speed on hit. So what you're getting out of taking red buff is bonus damage to camps to let you clear faster, increased damage on players, so your ganks are more successful, and extra move speed coming out of camps, so you can clear the jungle faster as well because you're moving in between camps quicker overall.
It also makes it very difficult for someone to escape once you start hitting them after a gank in the lane.
Oh
So
yeah, you're not getting away.
you don't
Yeah.
know. Red buff is perfectly balanced, by the way. Perfectly balanced buff, and I hope it never goes away. So with this, I run a Stalker's Key on Grux that gives me the extra health. Is that a card you would run, or do you prefer the a little bit of extra damage early on?
I would not take Stalker's Key level 1. No, because I think your clear suffers too much for it. But why did he walk forward?
Hit him with that
shouldn't-
smash
That
and
shouldn't
grab.
have worked.
Tricks,
No.
in any of the games you've played so far, has your team's carry ever creep blocked? Have you had anyone that's creep
I
blocked
don't
yet?
think I've seen anyone creep block at all, actually.
Like the importance of creep blocking as a carry, or in fact in any lane, not just for yourself to farm safely, but also for making the gank easier for your jungler. Right, like right there, you still got the gank off. Right, it was clean. You still got it through because he messed up. If your carry had creep block, they would have been way further up the lane, right, making the gank even easier for you, possibly securing a double kill there.
So-
like I've yet to see that myself, where any lane is creep blocking at the beginning of the game.
And creep blocking, for those of you guys that don't, it's you can use. Do you guys normally do the range minion, or can you do it with all of them?
There's
do-
it depends actually, yeah.
Because I
Back three.
yeah, I was
is
gonna
what
say the
most-
back three is what I've seen. Trix does back three. I've seen Trix do just the range minion, and that's where you take your character model, you put it in front of the minions, and the minions actually like try to get around you. They move weird, and it actually slows them down. So it allows the enemy team's minions to come farther up into the lane. So that's what he's talking about. Creep blocking is allowing the enemy minion, instead of them meeting right at that midpoint, the enemy minion wave pushes just a little bit more.
Yeah,
Right.
there's actually multiple ways to do it, depending on like what you want, where you want the lane to be. There's ways to creep block to make sure that your wave actually pushes. So you can creep block all 4 of them together into a clump. So your creeps will actually be together when they meet, and then your wave will always push towards them, which is really useful for things like solo lane when you want to push the wave early because the jungler starts at red side.
Right. So that's what creep blocking is, guys. It's a skill. You have to learn it. You're not just going to walk in and be like, hey, watch me creep block all of these guys. So this game, you've actually been a little bit more aggressive. You picked up that early game gank on the Narbash. You ran into the smash and grab instead of getting away. You have the Bellica drone down there, so you're not really using abilities. This guy's level 2. He's not going to be able to escape, so you're going to be able to secure on the kill on that. Meantime, Doggy Wiggles was trying to secure the kill. That smash and grab did not hit. You're very low. Going to hit her with the double pain. Space turret on her head. And this Bellica is going to fall as well. Oh, that swagger dash kill right there.
I was gonna give it to the Gideon, but like these people are having so much trouble hitting their basic attacks.
Yeah, if you had stayed a second longer, he would have killed you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
I don't think I had time to like get out and give the kill to the Gideon, so it was just have to press E.
So we're gonna jump in again. You're gonna start the jungle a little bit more. Been a little bit more aggressive this game that we've seen. Is that due to smash and grab?
Oh
Why-
yeah, it's because Grux's gangster is so strong, and it's not like Chimera where you kind of have to get on top of them. Like even though you have right click, you have ult, like you have ways to close the distance. Like you kind of want to get onto them earlier than that because so you can so you can bait out their CC and then use your right click to close the distance after they try to escape. But with Grux, it's just like I can gank level 2 with smash and grab. The range is so long, and then right click does so much damage.
Double
and
pain does a
bleed
ton of
kicks-
damage. Yeah.
The bleed kicks keep them from getting into travel mode, and it's just the pull brings them closer to my laner anyways. It's so easy to gank with Grux.
So I've seen some people ask about using abilities in lane or using abilities in the jungle. We've seen you do it a few times. I don't know if this is a common thing, but I've talked to some people who said I don't ever use abilities in lane because I'm saving mana. When you're trying to get these kills and you're trying to push the lane, are you using abilities on minion waves? We just saw you double pain, big smash and grab, gonna shut up his ultimate and secure the kill there.
Yeah, he shouldn't have ulted. He should have just thunked.
Are you worried about you wasting mana and not having that mana for those kills, or is it okay to use abilities on jungle creep and on creep in the lane?
I mean, I'm full mana, so like I'm just trying to clear quickly so I can farm. The thing is, like, I'll be more conservative with mana once I get to around half. I'll hold like if you hold control, if you're on PC, you can see what the mana cost of your abilities are. So I'll look and see like, okay, double pain is 40 mana, smash and grab is also like another 40 mana. So I need to make sure that I have 80 mana to get a successful gank off, and
Right.
then I'll look say, okay, my ult's 100 mana, so if I have 180 mana, I can do basically a full rotation off of any gank, or I can keep using double pain on minions to farm faster if I plan on backing soon, or things like that.
Okay. Now, Marty, I'm gonna ask you a question because you play the support role. What are you looking for out of your jungler? This isn't something I've asked you yet. Is there a certain thing you want to see your jungler do? What
Oh, I fucked this up so hard.
you hit him with the ult, you get the thunk. There's not going to be a kill there. Narbash is going to show up and speed boost away. But Marty, what are you looking for out of your jungler? What do you want to see your jungler do when you're laning or being aggressive, pushing a lane out?
When we're pushing the lane out, we're not expecting anything off the jungler. It's more when you're being defensive, you want your jungler to be on your side of the map. Because if you're aggressing in lane, there's not much he can really do when they're sitting under the tower.
Right.
However, like as of the last Agora's Rising tournament, like the way we're playing now and the way we want the things we want our jungler to do has completely changed. It's no longer a case of we want the jungler to roam around and try and gank lanes. It's more we want him to bait something and start something in the enemy jungle, so that we can all collapse together and do something. It's just too difficult to gank now. When there are that many wards on the map, it's way too difficult for the jungler to do anything. And all that happens is he ends up falling behind because in the time he could have spent farming, he's traversing lanes trying to get a kill.
So that's one of the reasons, and I've noticed that a little bit more, is especially with you guys, is that these team fights, when you guys take team fights, you're taking them in the enemy jungler, and that's all on purpose.
Right, yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, where now you're giving most of the red jungle to your carry. If one team gives the entire jungle to the carry and your team doesn't, your carry is going to fall behind their carry, and you'll see the repercussions of that in the team fight.
Yeah.
If, however, both teams are letting the jungler farm the opposing side and the carries are getting the red side together, the only way for your jungler to still stay relevant or get ahead is if he's doing things in the opposing jungle, if he's invading jungle camps. So that's why you'll see a lot of fights taking place now in enemy jungle. You'll have your jungler trying to bait something, and then you'll have everyone collapse together on him.
So, Trix, we saw you the last game again get hyper aggressive in that enemy jungle. We noticed their jungler was not taking camps at all, so you were getting level 3 camps. Another thing we're seeing here is a harvester picked up, guys. Harvesters spawn the 3 minutes for the 2 in the jungle, and 3 minutes for the 2 in the lane, and 6 minutes for the prime harvester. There's no wards here. This Grux didn't know you were coming. Did you both ult, or did he?
He ulted.
He ulted. You're going to hit him with an ult right now. You do have a little bit of an advantage on him. I'm starting to see rotation from your team, which is fantastic. There's going to be a Countess play. The stun's going to land. So you're going to get very, very low, but your team actually saw what was happening, and like Marty was just saying, rotated in, and they picked up 2 big kills in the jungle, keeping Count off. Count is now dead, so she's losing out on tons of farm. The jungler is now losing out on farm. You're able to come over, pick up this lane here, and possibly secure a tower because you've got a huge minion wave. And what, 20 seconds before they're back on the map?
That was a great rotation by his team, though.
It was
I
a
did
that
that
was
Definitely.
that was a damn
I'm
good
just
rotation.
thankful
From
that
his team.
they followed. So like I'm fine with, like, I could have taken that fight with the Grux one-on-one. The Countess came, which is good on her. Like that's what you're supposed to do. And then my team followed the rotation.
Right.
Did you ping anything there, by the way?
I think I pinged I need help. Like
It's nice that they listened.
As soon as the Countess comes, like that's when I need my team, because at this point I had pressed tab and looked and I see like, okay, he has Stalker's Key and he had an Adamant Edge that I don't think had anything in it,
Just
and then like
health.
2 strike tokens,
Right.
and I have a completed Flashfire Piston and Brawler's Ward and Key.
Right.
So I'm confident that I can fight him 100%, especially inside of his own jungle. And I got like one of those level 3 white camps with my first double pain, which is really what I wanted. Like if I died,
You got
totally
the
worth
you
it.
got the extra experience.
totally worth it
So the
because I
camps,
got the white camp.
the camps. How do camps work? The white camps spawn at 1 minute, and they level up every 2 minutes.
Yes, they either level up or respawn every 2 minutes, depending on if they're currently up or respawn or down.
So a level 3 camp is a level 3 white camp is it's 5 minutes into the game.
4 minutes if it hasn't been taken immediately.
Okay, so if it hasn't been killed right away, it's at 4 minutes you can pick up those level 3 camps, which that should not happen that early in the game. Those camps should be down. So we're gonna see you rotate around here. They don't have wards. I'm not seeing vision at all. She placed a ward aggressively, but it didn't protect her from the flank behind. You're able to get a smash and grab. You pop the ultimate. Here comes the ultimate from her. She dies before it goes off because minions are the real MVP. And Freak Leonidas here, he's dealing some damage, but you've built quite a bit of health. You've got a minion wave there pushing. You also, your minions are attacking him. That long arm
How
of
did he
law
miss that,
does
man?
miss by just an inch. Smash and
Oh, I
grab
know.
misses.
Smash
What?
and
How
grab
do you miss a smash and grab?
I don't know, man. I feel like it should have hit.
Ridiculous. They always hit. And the only reason you're going after this kill, I'm assuming, is because Decker's behind you. Because you're
Yeah,
really
Decker's,
low.
Decker's behind me. I see the Bellica in mid. I see the Gideon over here.
Because I
Oh,
hate
yeah.
chasing through the jungle. It drives me up a wall when I see it. You're able to get a kill out of it and also aggressively ward. 2 aggressive wards so you know where they're at.
A level 3 run count.
See, when I'm doing things like this, it's like when I'm watching the replay, I'm looking at the map much less than when I'm actually playing. So especially since I'm the jungler and I don't have to look at my map, like look at my lane and like notice which minions are getting low and where the opposing laner is. I can just stare at the map all the time. So I'll know like, okay, like the Narbash just back. Like mid lane is pushed forward. Like one of them is already off the map. I have my Decker behind me. Like
How's it-
all of those things just culminate and me making the decision, this is safe for me to do.
Right. Because
That's the number one thing you've got to do as a jungler. Like, you have to pay attention to the minimap more than anyone, and not just that. Also, if you have vision of people, right, you need to see: does he have low mana? If I gank, has he got the possibility to escape? Like
Right.
these small little things that you got to constantly look at your minimap and anywhere you have vision, because you're the one. You're the jungler is the core of the team who is making things happen. Everyone else is just sitting in lane farming until they get to that point where they can make a real difference in a team fight. The jungler is the one who helps everyone get there. So he's got to pay attention to everything.
Yeah, minimap, guys, we cannot stress wards and look at your map. Look at to see if your lanes are being pushed in your favor. Another thing which we haven't seen a lot of is, and I don't know if maybe they haven't pinged, the lanes have always seemed to be pushed out in your team's favor a bit here, but another thing a jungler can do, which we don't see a lot of, is if you notice that your mid lane is backing and they need help because there's a minion wave, or they backed and they didn't set their lane, the jungler can rotate over and help that lane out quite a bit. And a lot of the time we don't see junglers do that. We see, smash and grab is going to miss. Go Narbash.
Yeah,
and
that
speed boost.
speed boost is too strong, man.
Go Narbash and that speed boost. But one of the things, again, your lanes have all been pushed out, but as a jungler, let's say your lane, the lane's not set in your favor. I don't know how many times I've seen where a jungler doesn't rotate over and defend a lane. Is that something a jungler also should focus on?
If you think they're gonna get a tower and you're near there, then they can say like, okay, like you can notice like, okay, my laner needs to back or something, or maybe the howitzer, like you're looking at mid lane and the opposing Howie just comes and ults the wave. You know he's more than likely gonna want to back off that. So you can come and help your mid laner push the wave back into the tower. So instead of him ulting the wave and then leaving and coming back and not missing out on anything, he misses out on a whole bunch, and he still doesn't have his ultimate to fight for the next like 30 seconds that he comes back into lane.
Right.
I just want to point out also, if you are a jungler, don't be afraid to leash waves. Leech waves. Like if there is, like in this game right now, there's plenty of camps for him to farm because opposing jungler isn't taking any of his camps either. Like there's just level 3 camps spread out everywhere.
Right.
Like if you're ever a jungler with nothing to farm, don't be afraid to go and sit near your mid laner for a few minutes as well. Like XP is shared, CXP is shared.
Yeah.
Like you'll both get 100%. So just always look to efficiently maximize your farm, right? Sit mid lane for a minute or two then go do your camp when it levels up. Maybe look for a gank. If not, do another camp. Then go back to mid and leech another wave off him.
But don't push.
Yeah, don't just stand next to him. Just stand next to him.
Just stand there and look pretty. Don't push.
Just let him last hit. You just stand next to him.
Yeah, because I don't know how many times I've seen that as well. Again, they come in, they try for a gank. Gank is unsuccessful. So the next move a jungler does is, well, I'm going to push this lane, and that puts your caster, that puts your solo laner, your mid laner, or somebody at a disadvantage because now they're susceptible to ganks. They're missing out on a little bit of farm because lanes are pushed too far forward. So just stand there and soak up all of that wonderful, wonderful amber.
Unless they want to back. In which
unless
case,
they want to
push
back,
the wave
right.
super hard. But most of the time, that's for like something like a competitive scene where okay, like somebody says vocally, "I want to back, help me push this wave."
Right.
And solo queue, like you never know. People try to stay in lane. Why is this red buff level 3, man?
Why is this red buff level 3? That's like 7 card levels that you're gonna get after killing this.
And it's close to 18 minutes too. Like I can just take this and then go farm a white camp and then just go take it again.
That was almost
Like-
a half plus card level. And Doggy
Also-
doesn't have any wards here. So Doggy
If you're a jungler, just press tab and see who's building wards and who's not. Like it's like just gank the lane that doesn't have wards.
Yeah, that's an incredible piece of advice that you all just heard right now. Depending on who's building wards, gank the lane that's not building wards. Because everybody except, well, you should be ganking red lane, but they have wards. You haven't cleared wards out. Both of these guys are building wards, so when you do clear them out, they put them back down. It's too dangerous for you to rotate that lane and possibly secure. If you notice the solo lane or mid laner is not building any wards at all, that is a free gank the majority of the time, unless you've just shown in another lane or they have deep wards. So gank the lanes that are not building wards.
Yeah, gank the countess that has a 10 cost gift of the rain.
What?
No. Oh god.
Sometimes, man. Health regen and mana regen are very, very bad stats. Can that be the takeaway of this game? I feel like enough people don't know.
I feel
Seems
like
to be a common trend though.
it-
It
it-
happened to you last game, and it's happened in quite a few of my games as well.
Because it's good in other MOBA, like it's good in League of Legends for the most part, but it's in this. Oh, it's so undervalued in this.
healer token's not bad for Countess early game. It's
I
not.
healer tokens too. No, like absolutely, yeah, it's fine. It's when you start investing three points into like
Right.
mana regen.
Right. It's when you pick up a gift of the reins and put.
Like just build up a base
When you're
pool of it instead.
Not building damage on an assassin.
That's a problem. But I've seen a lot of times where Countess will pick up a healer token and a health pot, or a healer token and a mana pot, or a healer token and a strike token. And it gives them just a little bit of extra sustain in the late. Then they start building health. But you don't build Gift of the Reins with a mana regen. It's just not a valuable stat. We're going to talk about your build, though, because you know what you're doing. So you picked up a Flashfire Piston off the bat. You put 2 minor kinetics and a minor strike in that. You then picked up your Brawler's Ward and your key. Your key has been sold. You have an Adamant Edge with a 1 cost, 2 lesser healths, and 1 minor strike. Windcarver Blade with 2 strikes and a kinetic. You've got Brawler's Ward with a 3/2/1. He's picked up the mana. And a Blood-Soaked Armor. You're picking this up for the physical armor more so than the attack speed, or are you picking up for the attack speed?
I'm actually picking up a little bit for the attack speed, a little bit for the armor. I think the passive is really, really good as well. Like, the active on it, I feel like is really, really strong. It adds a lot to Grux's damage output because it helps keep those. It helps not only add bleed stacks to enemies, it helps keep them. So maybe like you ult and then the bleeds will tick down. Your ult will wear off, and then you can pop blood soaked. And then if they attack you, the bleed ticks stay on for that much longer,
Right.
as well as helping take OP.
So Freak Leonidas was very nice to let you secure that level.
Didn't he
3
see
key.
him? I swear he looked at him.
I feel like he turned around and then just maybe thought
He's not
He
gonna
was
fall.
running away from him.
I didn't have to pop my ult there because the Greystone walks over and just one taps him, and I was really upset about that.
That's why you paused. That's why that was him raging. You mother.
Nah, he was spamming the good jobs.
it It is.
Oh,
low
I
elo.
don't use that emote. Nobody does a good job.
No. Oh my goodness.
Right, because that's what you use it for.
That's the reason. So Doggy Wiggle here again. This is basically a free kill. He didn't know you were there. Lack of escape on that hero. You're gonna hit him with the ultimate. He's gonna stun the smash. What?
Yeah, I don't know
Outplayed.
I
Outplayed,
don't know
Potato.
why is my Murdoch? He was channel like look. Why is he coming in now? He was. I swear, people just sit in travel mode and watch.
Maybe they don't want to get BM'd for stealing a kill.
Maybe it's maybe
I mean,
you just
he
yelled
stole
at
it the
anyways. You just yelled at the Greystone. He's like,
Oh,
I'm not
did he?
helping this guy. He did secure the kill there, and it's not kill stealing. It's kill securing, guys.
Yeah, that's the
Kill.
mindset.
Kill secured. Thank you, Murdoch. So you're gonna. I mean, this is again lack of wards, lack of deep wards, I should say. You're able to come in from behind. You guys are able to secure that kill. You pick up a tier 1 tower. We're 22 minutes into the game. Again, you have got a lead. 39 total card power. Your team has a lead, not just you overall, but your team has a lead. But that has a lot to do with your rotations, helping pick up a couple early game kills, helping your team push towers a little bit. So that's not all on them. That was you helping them out as a jungler. Darkman over here, she has a ward, but she also has no mana.
Yeah. She has a word.
She's got a ward, but
She has no damage. I'm sure you factored this in when
Yeah,
going after her with a core HP.
Oh yeah. I mean, I have everything up. Like, I'm not worried about it at all.
she's got no damage. She has a ward, but she pushed the lane very, very hard, and she had no mana to do anything. She could have, if she had damage and mana, she could have turned around. It's a countess and blown you the frick up with an ultimate. She does have some damage, guys. She's picked up a Void Steel Dagger with minor strikes, and she's picked up another one. She's going to start putting major strikes in. So she is building damage now. So Peak, I showing another snowbally game. It's not that he's. It's not that the
Can
game
I
is
can I
snowballing.
respond to that?
Yeah, absolutely. You go ahead,
Yeah, so-
Marty.
Fact, the thing is, like, he's displaying a game not specifically because he's snowballed, but he's snowballing because of the things he's doing. That's the takeaway. Like, look at what he's doing so that you can snowball in your games the same way. Every single game that he's played as a jungler that's been shown today, he's constantly clearing his camps and then he's rotating into the enemy jungle to take their camps, and then whichever lane isn't warden, he's going for kills. Like, I don't think it's really fair to say showing another snowbally game meh. Like, just take a look at what's happening in the game for him to be able to snowball.
Thank you, Marty.
Yeah, and like, as much as it kind of sucks, like a lot of the games go like this. There
Yeah.
are the fair share that are just completely unwinnable, where somebody quits, or like it's a 4v5, or it's a 45 that I managed to win after playing a grueling hour-long game that makes me want to kill myself the entire time, or it's like a 40-minute game that I literally have to kill 3 people and steal prime from the opposing team to actually be able to win. Like, we could show those games, but after 40 minutes of watching the same game, or 50 minutes of watching the same game, we will exhaust every single thing there is to talk about in that game. And then it's just, you're basically just watching a movie with no commentary.
But this is a valid strategy. This isn't just another snowbally game. What he's doing is valid. This is how
Right,
you can
yeah.
play and win. This isn't just him.
It's enabling the snowball. What
Right.
he's doing.
He's given himself an advantage, and I've seen this. I've seen it in Agora's Rising. I've seen it at a competitive level. I casted it last weekend, and I said it 3 times. You have to take advantage of the snowball. If you give yourself that snowball, you give yourself that lead, you give yourself that advantage, then use it to benefit your team. Pick up kills, help push towers, pick up the orb prime if you're on a chimera and you can solo it, or if you have 1 or 2 people that can ping. He's giving himself an advantage, and he's using it. He's not squandering it and wasting it because his team's not doing other stuff. This is a valid way to play this game, and it's keeping him from losing games because he's able to make big plays, which in return his team's able to follow up. So it may just be another snowbally game, but there's benefits coming from it, and it's because of everything he's done leading up to this 26-minute mark to make it a snowbally game in his favor. He's made it a snowbally game. It's not just a boring game to watch. properly farming the jungle. He's helping secure kills. He's pushing objectives. He's doing stuff to get to that point.
There are also games where this kind of thing happens. Oh, I missed the smash and grab. That's sad. Or not the smash and grab, the clap.
Yeah.
There are games that this thing happens to me where I have a team that maybe isn't that great, and the other team snowballs, and then through something that either I do or they don't do, we still manage to win because they can't close out the game or secure the win. But watching something like that is not necessarily anything I do. It's more along the lines of something the opposing team doesn't do.
Yeah, capitalize with the lead.
But but coming back from a disadvantage is
Great.
it's a long process. That,
Not only is it a long process, but it's with this particular game, and at lower MMRs, it's very hard to do. Unless your team stops feeding, unless your team's stops giving up, stops feeding or starts farming better, coming back from a disadvantage at a lower MMR is really hard to do. I had a game, and right before I hit Diamond, which again, I hate using those terms. It's more about the internal. But I had a game that we played very poorly at the start. And it took us an hour and 15 minutes to get back into a point for us to turn the fight in our favor. And it was turtling. It was 49 minutes of us standing underneath of our towers and warding properly and making sure we weren't getting ganked. And those, you can only talk about that for so long before it's like, just end the goddamn game already.
Even so, though, Notch, you won't get that type of game where Trix is at the moment. Like, you won't get.
No,
a
you
game
won't.
where-
No.
You won't. That's the thing.
I mean, I could have chosen. Okay, we're gonna watch this game that was a 45 from 4 minutes, that I ended up winning after an hour because I think I stole Prime with an ult, and then we just won at 50 minutes.
Just push the
But-
one.
But
Prime is the game changer.
45 minutes of that game was us on the back foot doing nothing and just defending and warding our own jungle. Like, that's boring to watch.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't teach you anything, because I can tell you, hey, if you're behind, ward your own jungle, don't die, don't overextend. That's the entire strategy. Being able to actually
This poor guy.
being able to snowball. No, I get collapsed on and die here.
Oh, I just saw him
Being
jump
able
down.
to snowball a game is it's so much more complicated than playing from behind.
Yeah, it's not. Snowballing a game is not as easy as it looks. So you got a little bit aggressive there. I thought for sure you were going to pick up that kill there. His team ended up. That's the first good play that enemy team has made. The entire game, able to secure a kill on you. Did you have a bounty on your head? You were 10-0, so that was a huge bounty.
Yeah, they should have won Prime off of that.
Whoever secured that kill. So guys, that's another thing right there. You pick up a kill. If you look at the mini map, you can see where everybody's at. You have people that are all the way over in the red lane. You can see that there's 2 or 3 people there, and you have the advantage. You take 3 or 4 people, especially because you have a ranger, you still have a Grux up, and you have a Narbash who's able to tank that. Take an Orb Prime. That is such a game-changing objective, and nobody uses this objective correctly. I mean,
that was a free Prime for them, which could have completely swung the game around.
yeah. So again, this is why vision is so important. This is why wards are so important. Knowing where everybody is on the map. If you have an ability like that where 3 people are all the way on the red side, it's going to take them, by the time they get into the travel mode and rotate over to us, it's going to take them a minimum of 25 seconds. I believe it's from black buff lane to prime is 25 seconds. Maybe it's 18. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head here. But it's a long frickin' time. And with the Orb Prime only being at 10k health.
They had a Grux as well. They had a Grux too.
Yeah, Grux was there as well. It's an easy pickup for them. So Decker is going to get picked out here. The collapse is really slow from your team. You're still down. Staggered deaths are not a thing that should happen at all.
That deck is the Fae from the previous game.
Oh,
It is.
I didn't even
Maybe.
notice that. That was actually a really good ult coming out of Gideon there. Yeah, I can't believe there wasn't a stun from anybody. Like, where was the thud, the thunk? They're able to pick up 3 kills off of that. You're alive now. You've got an inhibitor in mid lane that's almost down. That was a bad engagement for blue. Yes, they picked up a kill, but they didn't have the follow-up to secure the rest of the kills. Good collapse coming out of Orange team here. And this could be an inhibitor, possibly the game as of this point.
Yeah. So right there, I came out of base and I cleared the huge wave that was coming onto our tier 2, and then I set the lane and immediately leave.
So set the lane. He killed the. Did you kill the ranged minions?
I killed the range and the siege.
So he killed the range and siege minions to set the lane, which allows his lane to passively push in his team's favor. But as he said, the big part of that is yes, he set the lane, but the big part is he immediately rotated to mid to help his team secure a tower.
Inhib.
I mean, yeah, and inhib, one of the most important objectives of the game. How many times have you seen?
Back up.
Like, how many times have you seen where people don't do that? They wait.
Leave it.
Or they just, oh, my team's going to do this. He immediately rotated to help and make sure that tower went down, which they picked up another kill. Staggered deaths this late into the game puts the enemy team at a huge disadvantage. They're pushing out another lane here, and this could be an Orb Prime. This could be they're farming the enemy jungle, so it's more farm for his team. They're not going to be able to secure an extra inhibitor here because his team is rotated off. Are they starting the Prime?
If they aren't, they should. But what our
They want to.
Decker actually like pushed the set lane a little bit. That's not really something you should do. If a lane is set, the longer it goes without being touched, the bigger it snowballs. So if she kills it, that means it's like there's going to be less of our minions crashing into the back of it.
Less of a
So
build up.
by the time it gets to the inhib, the wave will be smaller than if she hadn't done anything. And here it's just taking prime is so easy. That was ambitious.
Yeah, it was. You were trying to get it. I want to say we watched Oxygen during Agora's Rising last weekend, where they set both outside lanes. They set one outside lane back at their tier 2 tower. Maybe it was Arctic Wolves, but they set the tier 2 the wave at the tier 2 tower. By the time it got to the inhibitor, it had 5 siege minions. And that's just an easy inhibitor kill. Your minions will kill that in like 10 seconds, if that. So it's the slow siege up mid lane and just allowing your minions to do something else. You guys have Orb Prime. You guys have a clear advantage. You guys have a card power advantage all across the board. You're almost at 60. You've picked up your Blink Charm. You've got your Blood-Soaked Armor, so you've got attack speed. You've got a little bit of guard. You have that extra damage coming out of it. You've got a minion wave here. Tauren is just getting picked on and falls. Great space turd out of your Gideon there. And this is going to be just another inhibitor for you guys to pick up. And they're going to surrender.
Surrender vote.
Yeah,
That's
they just
gonna be
surrender.
GG.
Like the Grux was pushing our T2, which in the long run's not going to get him anything, because even if he takes it, like we're taking a second inhib, which as I said earlier, basically ends the game.
Right.
And we have OP. Like he needs to be there to help defend. Grux pull is huge for wave clearing and for anti-sieging.
Right.
And if he's not there, along with the Countess, like they have nothing to defend. Grux is their wave clearer on this team. Grux and Countess, and neither of them were there.
So, Marty, watching this play at a Trix here, and playing at a high level, what are some tips or things you could tell these guys that we may not have covered? Something you would like to see people do differently?
As a jungler or in general?
In general, I mean, you could say as a jungler, but you can say as a jungler, but in general, anything that you don't see. You've mentioned a few times allowing the carry to farm that red side, but
Yeah. So
what is something you'd like to see guys do that they don't do?
Well, the number one thing is everyone should have everyone should ward, because the most important thing is to stay alive. When you're dead, you're not doing any damage and you're not farming, and you're just falling behind. The number one priority should be everyone. The map should be littered with wards.
So everybody should carry a ward.
Every single person. should
So
carry a ward.
the because I'm a carry, I shouldn't carry a ward is just bullshit.
Yeah. All you do is you lose out on 1 point of damage.
How much damage?
1 point.
That's it?
Six damage is what you lose out on if you buy
That's
ward.
so much damage, Marty. I don't know if I could give 6 damage up for such an advantage with vision
Trick-
everywhere.
Trix made a great
Alternatively,
point.
You
Trix
could
made
make
a
it
great
be
point.
1 point of health.
Right, that too.
Yeah.
Trix made a great point saying that as a jungler, you know, because he's always rotating across the map, he has the ability to fill in voids with vision.
Right.
He because as he said, if one of the side lanes of the mid lane has to move out of his lane for too long to get a really deep ward, he's losing farm in that time. The jungler, him carrying the ward, he's able to put wards in these positions where he's not really losing out on much because there's a camp for him to farm immediately. So vision, number one most important thing, and that will allow you to stay alive. Not only does it keep you alive, it gives everyone else on the map information as well. If you want to look to make a play, having vision everywhere enables you to do that. You can see the junglers near his side, blue buff, you know, the solo laners in his jungle as well. The mid laner is in mid. You know, you have vision everywhere to be able to do something because you can see where everyone is.
Right.
So most important tip, make sure everybody wards.
So ward. Continue to ward. Everybody should pick up wards. Trix, any last tips from you, my friend?
Off the back end of what Marty said, if you're warding, you can farm safely, and you should be farming non-stop through the early game, especially if you're a carry. Don't be afraid to drop into your jungle and take your jungler's camps. If he's on blue side, like the likelihood that he's going to get to a camp that you take while it's still down is very, very low. The likelihood that he'll notice, hey, my camp's level 1 instead of level 2, also very low. Just farm, put yourself ahead, put yourself in a situation, in a position that you can make plays.
Oh, yeah. Get yourself ahead. Like you've got to be pretty selfish when it comes to farm.
2 level 1 camps are worth more than 1 level 2 camp. So if your level 2 is if your jungler's complaining about that, he can just pick up another level 1.
Also, utilize the black buff. Far too often, no one's taking it. No one's taking any towers with it either. It just sits there.
Yeah.
No one ever wants to take it. If you have vision as well, if you've warded nicely, you can get that for free. You can take it pretty safely when it's there if you have the vision around it. And then look to take a tower. You get 500 CXP for a tower. When there's no tower there, the opposing players cannot farm safely. It kind of gives you free reign over their white camps as well.
Yeah, it opens up the map so much.
It opens up the map so much for you, yeah. So utilize that as well.
Black buff is super important. Wards, guys. Shane says it. I've heard Shane say it a lot of times. It's basically a free map hack. It makes the game easy peasy, is what those wards do. So do not forget to pick up wards. Do not. But guys, that is another episode of Road to Masters. I want to say a big thank you to Marty for joining us. I know it's late where you're at right now. So Marty, thank you for stopping on the show.
Thank you for having me. If I could, I'd love to come back sometime in the future when Trix plays support.
I was just going to say, when we get some support games out of Trix, we will definitely invite you back. I'd love to get some of your knowledge and insight on some of those support plays and stuff you would do. But thank you so much for being here. And Trix, as always, man, thanks for sacrificing your mind and your well-being to play at those low elos and help people get better.
I'm gonna have to play on this account more often. People are like, "You're only gold."
Yeah, they're mad at what you've done. How many games have you played? What's your win loss right now?
What's my win loss? Like, let's see. 35-8.
35-8. Most of those games have been snowbally, but he's capitalizing on something he's done. They're snowbally for reasons he's made them snowbally. But man, good games as always. Thank you guys for being here. That's going to be another episode of Road to Masters, guys. We'll be back next Friday at 6:00 with more coverage, 2 more replays to talk about. If you guys have any questions, please send them to me on my Twitch or Twitter at Notch Plays Games, on the Reddit posts. Jamie posts those and let you know. I will be posting this on YouTube, so those of you who are watching it live and just showed up and have missed it and want to see it, you guys can find these on YouTube. We do have the previous 2 other episodes up now. This one will be up here in a couple of days. But as always, guys, thank you for watching Road to Masters. We'll see you next week at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Have a good night, guys.